worded them together as well. Okay, so we are going to review paragraph organization. This is just a loose notes, last minute tutoring kind of structure. Go this way. So when it comes to the ones that say, what should be the order of these sentences, or when you're doing your own writing and you want to figure out how you want to order them, what they're asking you about are organization strategies. So you have a couple of strategies for organizing paragraphs. You have order of importance, which is the one that I've been suggesting that you guys do. And that's where you start with your least important point and work your way up to the most important. Just, I will say whatever people wanted me to review. So that's one option. You have spatial order. And that's going to be when you are describing how things appear in a space. I don't mean space like outer space. I mean like left to right, top to bottom, front to back, whatever. It's going to be if you are describing something. So if I was like describing this classroom, I wouldn't start with like the chair in the back and then move to the middle and then back to the back and then over to the side. You'd want to like start at one point and walk all the way through. This one is again the one for your own writing. I highly suggest these. The rest of them are going to be ones that you might see on the multiple choice part. You have chronological order, and that is time order. So that's going to be start with the first thing that happened, then the next. Both. So this is just when you're telling things in time order. This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Chronological spatial order of importance. You have cause and effect. And that's going to be where, depending if it's a sentence, it will be the first part of the sentence. If it's a paragraph, it's going to be the first part of a paragraph. But point being, the first part discusses causes of something. And then it tends to have effects or after that. This is often called a problem solution report. You might have to, at some point, write those at work. It's where you are identifying a problem and you go into all the details about the problem. Like, we have an issue with leaky faucet, and you describe the leak and you tell how the leak happened, and you got to go into all those details. And then the second paragraph is the solution, and you're like, I think we should go to Lowe's and buy this, and then someone can do this. So that's cause and effect. The cause of going to Lowe's and getting that stuff is that the faucet was leaky, and then the effect is you go to Lowe's and get all that stuff.
Now, what is the order that we're using in the essay we're already?
I don't want to say you absolutely have to, because it's going to depend on what you're talking about, but I highly recommend order of importance. And then you have contrasting order. And this is for when you are comparing two or more things. And then you give all the info on one thing before then giving the same type of info on the other thing. So what I am meaning there is, if I am trying to compare and contrast TV to movies, and if I started with TV And I told you about actors that are on TV and most popular shows on TV and how long TVs have been around. That is what I have to talk about with movies. I have to then, with movies, talk about actors, most popular, and how long it's been around. I can't put in about movie theaters having popcorn and concessions. Like, they have to then be about the same thing. I think that's hitting all of them. So one, it's important to just know that for the ones that are saying like, what would be the best order of these sentences? And then of course it is good for your own writing. Stick to one technique for your own writing. That is, going back to the rubric here, this one, it says specifically, let's see, where are we? Follows a logical organization plan and maintains a consistent point of view. That means don't do one paragraph in spatial order and the next one in cause and effect and the next one in time order. Pick one and stick with it. Most likely it's going to be order of importance. So which one? Stick to one of your own writing. And then you use transition words or phrases to show / emphasize what technique you are using. So like if you're doing chronological, you're gonna say things like first, after that, next, finally. If it's spatial order, it's gonna have a lot of prepositions. It's gonna say like behind that and above this and next to this, etc., etc. If you're doing compare and contrast, you're going to have a lot of similarly or however. On the other hand, likewise, to show ones that are the same and ones that are different. If you're doing order of importance, you're going to see things like most importantly, or to begin, or furthermore, and likewise. Those are the kind you tend to give because they're going to be adding more information. What am I leaving off? Cause and effect, spatial, chronological, order of importance, contrasting. Did I hit them all? I think so. No, I didn't do cause effect. Classroom, yeah. So cause effect, that's going to say things like because, as a result, since this happened, then this happened. Also would work in any of them. Afterwards could maybe work. That is also a chronological one, but that would work in cause effect too. So if you have questions that ask you, what is the order of this paragraph? What organization technique is it using? Look at the transition words because that is most likely going to answer the question for you. If you see that they have behind, above, next, to, go for spatial order. If you see that they have first, after that, next, finally, go for chronological order. So always pay attention to the transition, but then in your own writing, throw them in there to show where you are switching ideas, how those ideas connect, because that is also one of these. Evidence and reasons are organized logically. So this is talking about the whole essay. This is talking about within a paragraph. So your whole essay is organized correctly, but then also your majors and minors are organized correctly. And the way that you help show that is transition words. So we have a whole handout over there about transition words that goes over like which ones to use if you're trying to show this and trying to show that. But again, it also works on the multiple choice one. I will make these look prettier before I put them on Classroom, since it's just a big old list right now. Anything else? We got a couple minutes you want me to go back over? Okay, so tomorrow, because we're trying to cram so much in, come prepared with stuff you want me to go over, so that if there's something that you think of like, oh crap, I need to go over semicolons, come prepared with that, so I put it in there. We are going to keep practicing tomorrow. We're going to talk about grammar tomorrow. We're going to do some more writing tomorrow, and then get prepped for the final exam and the actual SOL.